Fighting Blindness is an Irish charity funding world-leading research into cures and treatments for blindness. These conditions, causing gradual sight loss, affect 65,000 Irish adults and children and an estimated 40 million people worldwide. Not all of these people are blind today, but they know their sight can only get worse, not better. Currently, there are no cures. Brian O'Canada lives in Dublin and has a condition called Retinitis Pigmentosa, which is passed down through his family. His eyesight is gradually disappearing, leading to severe tunnel vision.
I was diagnosed when I was about 17, so it was a stage of my life where I was finishing school, thinking of going to university, and a lot of opportunities, I suppose, in front of me to do different things. And obviously then I had to rethink a lot of those, what I was going to do at that stage when I was diagnosed. Being a progressive condition, it changes every year. You remember being able to do something, but when you actually go to do it now, you can't do it any longer. You then need to adjust your lifestyle in terms of going out at night, and so that becomes more difficult. And losing the ability to read and not having the ability to drive like some of your friends can be quite difficult as well. I've got 2 young boys who may also have the condition, and we won't find out until they're a bit older whether that's the case or not.
Mary Lavelle is a psychologist at the counselling centre provided by Fighting Blindness for people living with sight loss and their families.
Fear of the darkness is something that impacts on everybody. But when it becomes a reality, it can be quite an emotional issue and needs some time to kind of work through and deal with and come to, hopefully, eventually, some acceptance and moving on.
Fighting Blindness started out in 1983 as a group of patients coming together for support and is now a world leader in the search for cures. A team of Fighting Blindness researchers based in Trinity College Dublin were the first in the world to identify the gene responsible for Brian's sight loss condition. Now they are close to a cure. Recently, a young man's sight was partially restored thanks to a gene therapy trial in London, which Fighting Blindness helped to fund. Professor Jane Farah is part of the Trinity team and has been working on a gene therapy cure for sight loss for over 20 years.
We're in a very powerful position because we can try and put the normal gene back into those photoreceptor cells in the back of the eye. It wouldn't have happened without Fighting Blindness. It was Fighting Blindness coming to the genetics department in Trinity and saying, please start some research here on this condition. And subsequently, the continued support from Fighting Blindness has provided funds which allows us to employ scientists, to buy equipment and to expand our research. I'm delighted to say we're now at the stage where some of these therapies are getting into human clinical trial, and there is really huge hope because it shows that the approach is a viable approach.
Please support Fighting Blindness today and bring hope to people living with sight loss.
Supporting Fighting Blindness, they can help a lot of people to have a more fulfilled life and provide a lot more opportunities to people to reach their potential in their life.
Thank you.